Hey, you might have seen my Loom video that I posted on LinkedIn last week talking about a phishing attempt that was sent over to me where somebody had tried to get me to log into a Microsoft site that wasn't really a Microsoft site. So this is my video, and in this video you have this like login page that looks legit, but the URL on the very top of the screen was not Microsoft at all. But what they were trying to do essentially is trick me into adding my login credentials on this page so that way they could steal my Microsoft access. None of my information autofilled. I don't really use Microsoft anyway. So they wouldn't have gotten really anything. But if I had logged in, I would have lost my, my email password, everything. So I spent some time thinking about this week and thinking about not just how do I prevent people from doing things like booking a calendar appointment with me and using a fake website that looks a lot like a real website and then leading me down this, guiding me into giving them all my information. I also sort of went down the rabbit hole of clickjacking, which is where somebody has you click on a seemingly normal site, but it's not really normal. It's a phishing site with the idea that they're going to steal your information by having you click on an invisible element on the screen. So let me show you a video, and I'll share this as well. But this guy, Matt Johansson, has this video about how to that most password managers are vulnerable to these types of attacks, and he's actually referencing some research that was done and was I think it was by Socket, and it was released at DEFCON last week. And essentially, what happens is you go to a page on a website, and it looks just like what I showed you before. It looks like a normal login page, and if you are paying attention, you'll notice maybe the URL is wrong. But ultimately, it is made to look like the real thing. And what they've done here is clickjackers, or people who are doing this sort of scam, will have an element on the screen that's actually opaque. So this is 100%, you can see it, and then this is 0% opacity. What is it when it's not invisible? This is invisible over here. So this over here looks like if you had seen this login on the page, you would say, oh, that's not normal. I'm not going to click this overlay on this page. But in reality, you'll be looking at something that's more like this, where there's an element on the screen that's invisible to you. And if you are using LastPass, 1Password, Bitwarden, or other password management systems, and you click this, it could autofill your information because they are telling it to do that because they're using the vulnerability of autofill on websites. So even though you're using a password management system, you can still lose your credentials. So what this person recommended, which I actually think is a really great idea, is if you are using a password management system, which you should be, then changing some of your settings to remove autofill. So these are my policies inside of LastPass. So if you're using LastPass, just go in and type the word fill, and you'll see disable autofill, and you'll need to disable autofill. So that's sort of backwards. So do not autofill. And you may need to have your team you might have to have your team log out in order for this to go into effect, or you might have to log them out manually, because if they also are using the Chrome extension and they haven't logged out of their Chrome extension, automatically fill login information will still be turned on. Whereas I logged out, logged back in, and you can see that this is grayed out. So this is forced by company policy. So when I go in to log onto a page, it looks like my credentials aren't available to me, but they actually are. If I click on the email address, I can see the emails that are available in order to log in to something like Xero. So all you would have to do is actually do something on your side. So you go to the page, you find the password, you click it, and you know that you are actually logging in, instead of having something automatically happen where you're not really in control of the login at that point. The autofill's already happened, and at this point, if it was on a scammy site, you would have lost your information. So there's one thing that you can do, which is set this up. I'm sure it's very similar on 1Password or other tools as well. But if you are like me, an accountant or a professional who manages passwords on behalf of others, or you just want to make sure that your passwords are saved securely and are not going to be stolen, turn this on so that way you can stay safe.